Hey folks, today I'm going to be doing another install, so let's go ahead and see what that product is. These are the Advanblack Speaker Grills. These are actually aluminum. They have a contrast cut, or you might say an edge cut, and you'll be using the same bolts that come from factory. Hopefully this won't be too bad of an install, but from what I've read, some of the bolts for the speaker enclosure might be a little pain. So as you can see, that is the factory speaker grill. I think these will look a lot better than what's there now. So we'll do a comparison towards the end. So we're gonna have to take off the fairing. And as you can see, I got some protective cover for my tank, and I put like a towel on my fender. So something to consider when you're getting ready to work on your bike, which I'm sure you already know. But on each side of the inner fairing, you have 2 bolts, total of 4. That's a T27. And as you can see, I've already loosened them. So you got a shorter T27 bolt at the bottom, and then up here at the top, you have a long T27. So just remember, long at the top, short at the bottom. There's also 3 T27 bolts here at the top, and depending if you have windshield trim or maybe some bags in the back like I do, you know, if you don't have those things, it's gonna make it a lot easier. I leave the center bolt in just so the fairing won't fall down. That way I can just go ahead and get my windshield out, and then I have my bags. And get your windshield trim. And there's a lot of bugs and crud in there. I'm gonna place my bolt back in there so I can just put this stuff away. I'm gonna remove the fairing, last bolt, center bolt. Slowly lean it towards me. And should be some headlight connections, and then in my case I have a bezel. And that takes care of that. I had a headlight H4 connector there, and this is for my LED bezel, headlight bezel from 03D. So as you can see, here is the speaker enclosures, or sometimes called speaker pods. There is a total of 8 bolts that I have to remove, and it's going to be really hard to show you, but there are 3 under here. I know it's hard to see. And then you got next to the amp tray, you have 2 right here. And then there is one way back in here. That's 1. There's another one on the outside, and this last one down here. So that should be 8 bolts in total. So one thing I wanted to mention, as you're trying to get to the speaker enclosure, there are some wires here for cable management that are just kind of like popped into the speaker enclosure. So you just pop this out, as you can see, and then this other one, I just slid it off the cable management placement tab here. And you can just push these to the side. You will have to unplug this one going to the speaker, and I'll do that shortly. This will just makes it easier, and you have to do this on both sides in order to be able to pull this off. And once I pull it off, I'll just show you all the bolts and how hard it was to get to. So as you can see, I was able to get the speaker enclosure off. This is it right here. And like I was mentioning before, there are 3 bolts here that are a real pain to get to down in there. So it took me quite a while, which would have taken me a long time on the video, and I didn't want to stay on the video very long to show you that. These are 3/16 Allen, and so are the ones that are this one that comes through here. You have one here, and then one more right here. There's 3 on that side. Now the tray, there are 2 that connect to the amp tray like I mentioned. Those are 5/32, and obviously it's going to be the same way on both sides. I don't know how well you can see, but it's probably too far away, but there are 3 T25 Torx bolts on the speaker grill, which we'll obviously reuse for the new one. All right, folks, that wraps up the install. I appreciate you watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And always rip the ride. See ya.